Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Welcome back. Let's see what happens in this crazy world of a market today. We've got a lot happening today. We had CPI data come out this morning, much better than expected. This is the kind of thing that helps pump up tech stocks again in what appears to be our second day's rally now in a row, escaping the madness of a correction we've had over the last 3 weeks. We've also got some news coming out today. We got the Roblox direct listing. This is not an IPO, so it's a little different from an IPO. Direct listing would be similar to what happened with Palantir. I believe Palantir went out with a direct listing of $7.50, ended up pricing as high as $10 within the day, went down to around 9-ish, and now we think it's cheap at $23. So to give you a little perspective, Palantir had a nice little movement to the upside once people understood a little bit more about, oh crap, this is actually a really profitable company. So Roblox will be doing their direct listing today. They are not a company that is profitable right now. However, they had almost $1 billion in revenue. The company's just massive. The biggest concern for Roblox that I have, as many share, is how is gaming going to potentially change between now and reopening? Right now, Roblox says people use their games on average at about 2.5 hours a day. And you wonder, is that going to change when we reopen? Are we going to see usage of the Roblox games decline? And if we do, then the currency that we use in those games, Robux, might have less volume. And the less volume, less transactions there are, the less money Roblox makes. So it'll be interesting to see. Direct listings, IPOs, usually I'm much more of a watcher than I am a buyer. Generally, I like to think that on the day of an IPO, the people who get rich are the founders, the employees with options, and the people who bought the shares beforehand. But I have to say, while I might be right, 6 out of 10 times on the IPOs, I messed up on Airbnb. Airbnb IPO'd somewhere around like the 140s is what you could have bought the darn thing for. And even after the crazy correction we've had, Airbnb's been sitting around like 179 to 188. So buying an IPO does not necessarily mean it's definitely going to go down. And hey, with the rally that we have today, I wouldn't be shocked for us to have a very, very nice open at Roblox. We'll see. We will see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sticks and we'll see how this market opens up. Obviously, we will see Roblox at some point today, usually around probably 7:30 a.m., maybe as late as 8 a.m. We'll actually start seeing Roblox start trading. Right now, in the pre-market with 90 seconds to go before the opening bell, we've got Riot up 10.3%, GameStop rallying again up 9.86%, not as high as it was in pre-market. We got almost to $300 per share. We have been slowing the rally a little bit on GameStop here. We've got NGA again up 7% today. Here's just a massively oversold commercial vehicle spec. Enphase up 6.8% here, rallying nicely after the inflation data came in much better than expected. EXPI up another 6%. Redfin, AMC sitting around 5%. Social Capital moving up again. We've got Shift Technologies up about 4.5%. Whoa! Tesla just hit 700. Let's go! Whoa! What did we say? Like yesterday morning, I think it was like at 590, 600, and we're like, if this green continues, it is not going to stay in the 600s for long. Boom, it's over. Tesla over $700 a share again. What a short buying window we had there. Square, 3.7%. Etsy, 3.7%. Phenomenal companies. Absolutely great companies. AT&T can't keep it up over 30 because, well, it's AT&T and they can never keep it over 30. The losers today, Nordstrom, Dave & Buster's, Carnival, FRX about 0.5%. But some of the recovery, I'd say most of everything is green on this inflation data, folks. The inflation data was a big positive. Let's listen to the opening bell.
Into these types of things, although they're starting to get more skeptical. So
ever they talk about it. I think there's like a 15-second delay with them. So let's see.
I know we've been having a lot. It's going on behind the scenes as well.
Show the bell.
And as you do start to see investors losing money in some of these recent deals, then that's when you
how are they not showing the bell?
Additional money in to SPACs and to the sector as a whole. Carl.
Yeah. By the way, as of
Okay, so it's really green. They totally missed the sound effect on the bell.
Record 170 billion.
That's
already
green.
strips last year's total of 157 billion. That's from Refinitiv data yesterday. There's the opening bell
Wow.
at the big board. It is video game platform Roblox celebrating its direct listing at the NASDAQ. It's a PWP Forward Acquisition Corp, a blank check company led by and focused on women. Leslie, I am curious to know about your thoughts behind the direct listing. It hasn't been an army of companies that have chosen that, but Palantir.
Let's hear a little bit of insight here while the opening market stabilizes on what kind of insights they have, and then we'll look at the market.
Listing. They had every intention of going public through a traditional IPO back in December. And what's remarkable about that is they looked at the IPOs of other Silicon Valley venture-backed companies and how they were performing in the aftermarket. Usually you get a little skittish around the traditional IPO process when other IPOs are performing poorly. In this case, it was the Airbnb and the DoorDash IPO that really spooked the company. That's according to sources I've spoken with around this one.
Airbnb did well.
We don't want to see our stock soar like this because we're worried about what it might mean for employees who had the option of selling some of their shares at the IPO price, looking at the opportunity cost of what might happen if that stock soared. So instead, they decided to punt the listing. They did a private placement back in January that valued this company at $30 billion, instead opting for a direct listing, which, kind of does away with a lot of this, back and forth with the roadshow, trying to find an IPO price, allocating shares to, a concentrated, hopefully, if it's a good deal, concentrated group of long-only mutual funds. That's usually the goal among the underwriters, and instead opted for a direct listing, which will be interesting to see, David, today.
They're underpricing it a little too. I think they're direct listing it at, I thought it was like 26 billion.
Of the retail investor. Here's another gaming-oriented company, obviously totally different business model, but fits into that whole kind of gaming mentality, that has really attracted a lot of people to GameStop.
Sorry, 29.3 billion.
Leslie, that was Palantir, which was the last major direct listing, and also has become sort of a favorite in some ways. We know that stock.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Look at this. Neo. How many times did I say under 45 is like the steal of a century? And yesterday we bought it because it's like it was about to go over 40 yesterday. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it because it's going to go over 40 and we're not going to see this again for a while. Boom. Now it's like 44.90. This is crazy. Crazy. I forgot to do my pinned comment. Did I really? I guess I did. Expiring in 5 days, 38% off coupon code HODL. Private live stream. That's more where we do Q&A to differentiate it from what we do here. Live streams, lifetime access to lectures, and private chat. There we go. Use code HODL. There we go. Okay, I did it. But yeah, I mean, this is really incredible. I mean, just the rebound that we're seeing here in the numbers. Let's get rid of the pre-market over here. There we go. Let's scroll on over. So let's just look at the percent changes here. I mean, okay, good. GameStop rallying a little bit as well. Actually, a lot of things just rallying into the open here. Nano Dimension coming in hot with 10%. Neo 8%. That's a big move here. I mean, it was so underpriced. It's crazy. Right now, I'd say even still, Enphase is underpriced. Tesla, now at 710, really rallying hard here. I mean, wow, the amount of green we're seeing now. Palantir, folks, still underpriced. Churchill, still underpriced. Etsy's good. Pinterest is still juicy at this level. Square, it's okay. 230. That gets to about my limit where I stop buying this one. So let's see here. What else do we have? Tilray, 10%. Virgin Galactic. Virgin Galactic is officially where Mr. Paperhand sold it. So what I really want to see is Virgin go up like another 20% from here. So, and because Mr. Paperhand really front ran. I think Mr. Paperhand sold last Tuesday. And then the publication that he sold came out 3 days later. I think it was on Friday. The news came out that he sold, and that really hurt the Mr. Paperhand SPACs, and not to mention any names, of course, and Virgin Galactic here. So we'll see. But anywho, AMC, trying to make a move here, but when Neo's beating AMC, that's crazy. Look at Matterport. I mean, just all the attendees are coming back, and this is why trading with your entire portfolio can be very frustrating. I'm all for swing trading. I mean, there are definitely stocks I love looking at for doing little swing trades on as part of a smaller portion of my portfolio. But the broader portion of the portfolio, it's very, very common for me. Oh, Kevin, well, why don't you sell and just rebuy lower? Well, how do I know exactly when it's going to happen? We don't, not consistently, at least. We can try, but it's very difficult, especially if you're trying to trade multiple stocks at a time. Like, I'm not going to move my entire portfolio of 20, 30 stocks and sell them all and try to perfectly time it. Because we just don't know where the bottom is. And when we hit the bottom, it goes fast. Because we saw that on Monday, we kind of hit the bottom Friday, intraday Friday. We hit some mega pain Monday, but we went from mega pain Monday to just rocket ship yesterday morning. It was so fast. It's so fast how it jumps. Yeah, it's one of the benefits of just riding through the crazy ups and downs here. Faraday Solutions, I have to say, this is dirt freaking cheap. I mean, this is almost as dirt cheap as FRX. FRX, all of like the hype has been removed from that one, which is so beautiful because we posted alerts about this one around like 1090. Which it's up a little bit from there, but it's anything close to $10 on like Faraday Solutions or FRX. It's so cheap. I mean, you're paying almost what the pipe investors are. And you're really just waiting for a little bit of attention to start highlighting these again. All right, so what else here? Neo's really stabilizing its run. Very, very nice. We got Lemonade. Lemonade back over 100, huh? Oh, no, there it is. Oh, come on. It keeps bouncing up and down here. Anyway, Lemonade's, I think, like right at 99 and 100. Yeah, here it is. There we go. Look at that nice run at Lemonade, running back over a $100 per share here, going as low as $60 per share. We got Plug Power running 7.4%, AMC running as well, Blink, Virgin Galactic, Matterport, Shift, Enphase. Let's see here. Okay, what else here? Enphase almost over 160 again here. What else? Lemonade, Bitcoin. Look at the rally just on Bitcoin, which is just incredible. I mean, inflation came in tame, and Bitcoin's still moving. I really personally think there's I think there's not much of as much of a correlation as people think between inflation and Bitcoin pricing. I think Bitcoin moves a lot more with the actual market. A little bit of a decline here on Tesla. Tesla revisiting the 600s by going to 699. We've got Invitae, 3.4%. Also got a little bit of a decline coming out of the gate here. We've got Pinterest sitting nicely at 69. Almost everything is green here. I mean, even in the low greens, we've got low greens. Sounds like Walgreens. Even in the low greens, we've got Wayfair, Yelp, Target, Domino's, Amazon, Home Depot. Clever's over here in the low greens. The airlines are over here. eBay, so at $29 now. On its way back up, which is nice. Kind of expected that. VGAC doing nicely. Let's see what else. Let's see. Virgin Digital. No, sorry, Voyager. What am I saying? Voyager. I'm thinking too much of this one hasn't even started trading yet. Thank you so much of Virgin Galactic. GameStop 15%. So GameStop running again. Remember, we hit almost 300. And it wouldn't be surprised to try to hit that again or to retrace up. So GameStop's definitely moving nicely here. Fuel Cell, just the last like 4 days, it's been up like 10% every day. Let's go back to the days chart here. Or at least that's what it felt like. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just yesterday and today. Okay, fine. Last 2 days, it's been up a chunk. But yeah, no, apparently not. The last 4 days. I thought it was up more. Maybe I was just highlighting it a lot. Okay, cool. What else? AMC Shift up 7%. So undervalued Shift still. The more I read about Shift, the more excited I get about it. Kind of like Bitcoin. Matterport, nice moves as well. 6.4%, but stabilizing a little bit in the day here. Fisker, folks, don't forget the crazy run that Fisker had. Watch the first minute of the live stream if you want to know my thoughts on Roblox, at least until we get to some more news on it. We'll be looking for it to open. So we'll keep it over here. We got it for the direct listing price of $45. We'll see what happens. It goes public on the NASDAQ. Let's see. Let's add it to our favorites. There we go. Add to watch list. All right. We are ready to track that one. So let's listen in for a moment. Let's see what the GE CEO has to say about the markets today.
In yields moving higher, and it's not really worth doing a transaction right now. I don't know what that answer is, but this deal kind of made me think of how that's changing.
It's an interesting point.
Mindset.
Obviously, floating versus fixed becomes important for those who are considering the balance sheet as well and what they've got out there. And again, we haven't had that big a move. I mean, historically, we're still at extraordinarily cheap money, Carl. But for GE, they had some unique pressures, as you well know, on them, given both realized and perhaps liabilities that had not yet been fully realized until the last few years.
Yeah, the long-term care stuff, very, very large, difficult ship to turn, David. But what an enlightening set of interviews from Culp today and from Immelt a couple of weeks ago.
Jump on over for a moment. Oops, too far.
There is an app that automatically invests your money in the companies where you spend your money. How about that? I want to bring in Aaron Frug. He is the CEO of Griffin.
I hate it when they link investing to spending. It's toxic. Rewards points at credit cards are enough to get people to spend sometimes. But seriously?
Yoga pants. Just suppose I did that. And I get a stock purchase in Lululemon along with my purchase of the yoga pants, and the money comes from my bank account. Is that how your app works?
So yeah, that's the entire idea behind the app. We wanted to make it extremely simple and human, and to just give people an opportunity to start owning the brands around their life. And so the way that it specifically works, though, is that when you make a purchase at the company, you actually invest once per week. So we wanted to make sure and protect people to not overdraft. So let's say you make 10 purchases in a week, $10 is taken from your account and then invested. So, but you make that purchase at Lululemon, and then you'll invest that $1 into Lululemon stock.
Wait, they just invest $1 per purchase? Come on.
Okay, I got it. That's what you're doing is, look, terrific idea. It seems to me that you're making much, much easier for the retail investor.
Stupid. I'm sorry. I can't handle people linking spending to investing. And you're telling me $1 per purchase? So really, now we're going to incentivize people to go spend $120 on yoga pants, and they're not even going to invest 30%. They're not going to invest 20%. They're not going to invest 10% of their purchase. They're going to invest $1. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a minimum. You know, maybe you could say, hey, I want to put more money in. But even if you put more money in, even if you change the amount from $1 to, okay, every time I buy something at Lululemon, put $50 into the stock. Seriously? Now you're really amplifying the negative psychology of, I'm going to go shopping at Lulu because every time I do, I invest in the company. I need a new outfit. Man, I don't know. It just bugs me. It's so wrong. It's so backwards. Jeez, man. All right, let's see what the top news is, and we'll look at the sticks again here. Rob Arnott warns of big market delusion in electric vehicles. Oh, good one. Never heard somebody talk bad about electric vehicles before. Big market delusion that has entrapped investors throughout history. Oh, throughout history. Is this like a reference back to like 1905? The 600% rally in a year that sent the combined value of 8 manufacturers to $1 trillion is pricing in every firm as a major winner in the clean energy boom. Yet, just as one highly valued Palm Pilot or the once highly valued Palm Pilot lost in the smartphone revolution. Dude, Palm Pilot was not competing in the smartphone revolution. How can you make an analogy that says somehow Palm Pilot lost the smartphones because it was somehow competing in the smart? It wasn't. It got obsoleted by being incorporated. This is like kind of like how the potential of robo-taxis could obsolete people actually owning cars. I mean, that would be a better example, but then which companies might be leaders in that? All of these companies are priced as if they're going to be huge winners, but they're competitors. Okay, this guy's just fussy. Arnett said, along with researcher and RA and Brad Colonel at UCLA, they cannot all dominate the years ahead. Well, we know that. I want to be able to scroll down, but it's not letting me scroll down. Although this, I don't even know if I want to keep reading this nonsense. I will, though, because it's always good to read what people complain about. All right, total automakers, total market value of the automakers. Okay, while these stocks are much more highly valued than the traditional car makers, their total sales average about 2% of the latter of the traditional. Nevertheless, EVs have been lucrative for people like Cathie Wood. Everybody's trying to bag on Cathie Wood these days. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I like the airline industry. The auto sector is notoriously competitive and capital intensive. This is true. In a competitive industry, market disruption benefits society at large, not necessarily the disruptors. Yeah, Tesla, hold my beer. We'll see. People like to bag on the EV space, but I mean, people regularly complain that Tesla's overvalued. But if we just even project, a totally reasonable amount of vehicle growth to if Tesla just does half of what Toyota does today, the company's selling for like 20 times future earnings just on cars. No autonomy, not considering the potential software or considering the self-driving updates, but not considering like the robo-taxi potential, insurance, energy. Yeah, lots of bears out there. Lots of bears. Okay, what else do we have here? LeBron's 300 COVID cases. Okay, wow, gosh, man, I hate COVID tests. Warren quietly puts stamp on Biden team. Okay, flow of staff picks. Let's see. Stimulus should get signed today. Biden stimulus nears finish line with the vote today. Equity plus Bitcoin ETF. Ooh, what's this? That sounds interesting. The U.S. exchange traded fund. Okay, ETF issuers are getting increasingly creative as the SEC continues to demur on approving a pure cryptocurrency fund. Right, because right now you can only invest through the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to buy Bitcoin in an ETF. So, for example, like ARK invests through the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. But oftentimes, and not recently, but oftentimes this sells for a premium over what Bitcoin is actually going for. Lately, it's been selling for a discount, though, just in the last week or so here. Here's actually the chart. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Well, let's just see. Minus? No. I can't see the whole chart. Okay. There we go. Maximize. There we go. Okay, yeah, take a look at this. So here's zero. Right here is the zero line. Anything below this line right here is actually a discount. In the last few weeks, if you buy into the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, you're actually getting Bitcoin at a discount relative to the net asset values at the company. But look at how high this has historically been trading. This has historically been somewhere around an average of 20% as a premium to get Bitcoin in an ETF. It's incredible. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the sticks. See what's going on over here. So, and yeah, I mean, if you wish ARK was available in Europe, I mean, you could try to at least follow some of their larger holdings yourself, doing that manually if you don't have that option. Obviously, there's convenience in having an ETF. But hey, the benefit is you'll save the fee. So GameStop at 290, Express running 29%, absolutely incredible. Fuel Cell, look at the explosion we had over here. Not to make any kind of like hydrogen puns here, but of 16%. AMC just came out of the gate. I mean, AMC, boom. I mean, so it's like somebody shot a gun and this thing's just off to the races here. It's actually now beating GameStop. This is all of a sudden here. Enphase over 160. AMC pumping like crazy right now. Enphase back to 160. This will be back to 180 very soon, and then we'll be back over 200 very soon. Neo just knocking on the door of $45 a share. Matterport 6.6% here. Virgin Galactic softening a little bit. Palantir running. Palantir, comes the Palantir run again. Woo! It's still cheap at 25. You know, I've been saying it since it was like 22, 23. Like, this is the most dirt cheap thing I've seen in a very long time. Churchill Capital, where are we? CCIV here, 26 bucks again. Wouldn't be shocked to see this go back to 30 and then get back to 35 to 40. Not sure if we're going to see 60 soon. You know, once we get this thing on the road, I think that's going to help the stock a lot. If the first YouTuber to come out and show this car on the road, I think is gonna move this stock heavy. I could be wrong, but I think that's going to be a very, very big catalyst, because we've got too many fears that this is you know, that this is going to be a potential Nikola, and nobody wants to hear that. Let's listen to the Sonos CEO for a moment. They got kicked off the Apple shelves, but then smashed earnings in the very same quarter.
Revenue target for fiscal 24 is pretty aggressive. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, you know, and yesterday was a big day, not only launching a new product, but also we really wanted to share our long-term view. You know, a lot's changed over the last year. Obviously, as you mentioned, you know, investors have sat up and taken notice, but I also believe that we're just getting started with this opportunity. So yesterday was really about laying out this opportunity. We think there is a ton of opportunity ahead. We looked at it in multiple ways. We helped investors with how to think about the category. And so we feel very good about the targets that we set for 3 years out, and all increased from where we were before in terms of long-term guidance. So we feel very good about the future.
You know, for a lot of companies, for example, Campbell's Soup today, amazing results last year. This morning, they're acknowledging the comps are going to be tough. That's been the narrative for companies that have sold goods that go into the home, like Staples, and to some degree electronics. Is the Roam an attempt to follow Americans as mobility improves post-pandemic?
Absolutely, Carl. So it's a product that really, you know, is perfect as the world reopens and people want to bring that great experience that they've had from Sonos with them, right, as they gather. So we think this opens up a whole new opportunity for us. And we talked yesterday about the fact that, you know, today we have about 25 million people around the world using Sonos products and services. And
so is he saying there's some like new product or whatever? Yeah, this thing that you could take with you. Amazon tried this. And look, I don't want to be like you know, sounding like a bear here, but Amazon did this. They had the what's it called, the Echo or whatever that you could carry around. Who had that? The Echo mobile music player thing. You know, it was kind of like Alexa, but it was you know, this mobile music player. I don't know that they sell that anymore. Mobile player. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait, here it is. No, they still do. Bose portable smart speaker. I mean, maybe. It'd be interesting to see what the sales like. Wonder if that'd be something we can figure out, is what the sales of Amazon's version of that were. I mean, the Bose one has good reviews on Amazon, so you got to give them that. But I don't know. Like, it's another thing to charge. It's another thing to remember to bring around. I mean, it'd be cool to bring it to the beach or something like that. But I don't know. I think Sonos is stretching a little bit, saying, "Oh yeah, as the economy reopens, our portable speaker will make us really, really profitable." I don't know. I mean, people, like, I could see Sonos blowing up when people were all buying new homes and stuff like that. And people are like, "Oh man, we got to get the best sound at home." Like home theater, you know, that's what they're really known for. Just high quality home sound. This stuff they're good with. You know, that's pretty impressive, the stuff they do here. Although I also, you know, they do have competition from the Apple speaker now too, where you can have multiple of them in the same room and they sync up. So, I mean, lots of competition in the speaker space, and they are a premium product. I feel like they probably took a lot of market share from Bose, honestly. Although I really love Bose. Like, I got somebody gifted Bose headsets. And God, those are so good. But anyway, AMC 12%, GameStop 16%. What do we got here? Matterport 10% today. Nice rally over here. Okay. Matterport partnership with Rumi. Let's take a look at that. Accelerate. Okay, what is this? Hold on. Matterport's juicy. We like juicy. Okay, hold on. We gotta plug it in here. Matterport today announced its continued partnership with Rumi. Oh, it's for virtual staging. That's so funny. When we interviewed the Matterport CEO, he was really big on virtual staging. It was almost kind of like he was like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Rumi to provide virtual staging capabilities to residential multifamily. Yeah. I mean, that's actually kind of cool. I'll tell you, if I were going to sell a property or I were going to rent a property, and I have my Matterport scan already anyway, and if I could push a button to automatically have the property get staged, to order a virtually staged Matterport 3D tour, customers simply share the Matterport model to be staged with Rumi, select the design style, and place their order here. Okay, so it sounds like there's probably a wait period. I wonder what the pricing is. This is good. This is a really good feature here. Place the order. How much is it going to cost me? Transfer a copy of the Matterport. Okay, so it's a little clunky the way they're doing it right now. Like, it looks like you have to place the order, then transfer it back. Basically, they're manipulating the data in the back end by putting the products in. Interesting. A little clunky right now. You know, this back and forth crap is clunky, and we don't know what the pricing is. That's a little actually inconvenient. Let's see. Rumi pricing. But it's smart. Okay, there we go. Rumi pricing. Real estate brokers upload photos of a room for a flat fee of $20 per property. That's dirt cheap, though. That is so cheap. $20? You can't put a human on this for more than 5 minutes for this to be profitable. Like, this has to be just using AI and then a human doing a quick double check of it through the Matterport before they send it back, and done. But $20 per room, unless this is not the Matterport fee. I feel like the Matterport fee would be more than that. But if it's $20 per property, that's insanely cheap. You know, and this particular diagram doesn't look as perfect as some of the virtual staging does. Some of the virtual staging is really, really, really good. But okay, that's something to keep an eye on. I like that about Matterport, though. All this stuff that they're doing. Look at that. Virtual staging, $28 a room. Yeah, that makes more sense. I would expect to pay a few $100 to virtually stage. So, and that's what I'd be expecting here too. But they don't provide their pricing in a transparent way. Either way, it's good for Matterport. So I like that. We like the stock. All right. So, all right. What else do we have here? Fubu running a Luminara LiDAR tech. I wonder how they're performing relative to the last, since November, when we really had this massive LiDAR rally. LiDAR rally, yeah, I mean, relatively low. I mean, we're actually at December pricing, early December pricing. You know what's going to potentially kill the LiDAR rally is Elon Musk's self-driving beta coming out. Ooh, that's going to be so juicy. I will be very excited for that. Although I don't drive anywhere, so I don't use my car. I don't have any updates available right now. So you get the notification on your phone, but I don't have any. Oh well. So, but that could be a death knell to LiDAR if everybody starts using the self-driving beta and it ends up just getting exponentially better. Tesla right now is using I think a few thousand beta testers, and if they open this up to a fleet of hundreds of thousands of people, there's gonna be no chance anymore in self-driving. Tesla's just gonna dominate. It's nuts. Cybertruck's gonna be sick. Yeah, I don't know about a self-driving motorcycle, honestly. You know who's actually working on something close to a self-driving motorcycle? FUV, Arcimoto. Arcimoto has got the tricycle. They eventually want to make that self-driving, but they're not developing in-house for that. They would outsource for that. So what else do we have? What's losing money here? Very Good Food is losing money. Snowflake losing. OGI. What else here? eBay, Faraday, Shopify. Shopify's down. What's Shopify doing? 1117. Macy's down a bit. Really, I mean, it's that direct rotation. It's so blatantly rotate. Oh, the Treasury auction should be starting. Wait, was it at, I don't remember now. Is it at 10 a.m. Eastern or was it at 10 a.m. Pacific? I don't remember. Does anybody know what time the Treasury auction is today? Maybe we could Google it. Treasury bond auction today, time. I don't know what time they're going to say. Oh, Financial Times might tell me. Let's see if it says 1 p.m., 1, 10. No, just 10-year Treasury. Maybe if somebody could figure out for me what time the Treasury bond auction is today, I'd like to be able to watch that. At least watch the yields. Because we have a very big auction today. And see, this doesn't provide any times either. We just know that we've got about 50, I think it's $58 billion of bonds. Institutional general auction timing. Let's see here. Thank you for that Rumi post, by the way. That was a course member. Shout out to course members who sent me that Rumi document here. Oh, pricing. Oh, and shout out to yet another course member here for providing me the... oh, there we go. Yeah, see, I knew $20 was too cheap. $20 was maybe like you do it yourself. But oh, that sounded way too cheap. Here's the pricing on Rumi. So if you do a Matterport tour, that's pricey. That is not cheap. So I would not do this on my rental properties. So if I did a Matterport of a 2,000 square foot home, I'd be paying $800. Bro, I could buy a couch for that. You know, usually staging is like, actual staging's probably like on a basic house, okay? Not like a New York mansion. A basic house staging, $2,000 to $5,000, you know, on a basic house. This is expensive. I mean, maybe it's really good. It would be cool to have staging in 3D, though. You know, some people, they do virtual staging for photos, and it's only in one angle. 3D, I'd like to see it. But that is not cheap. Not cheap at all. So, virtual 3D staging. That's a good one. Okay, let's go back here. So, yeah, if somebody knows what time the Treasury auction is, that would be money. But we'll just keep an eye on the bond deals as well. We do have charts open here. This is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust we were talking about. Let's pull up the 10-year right now. We'll go back to the sticks and we'll see what the suits are talking about too. So, going to the 10-year. We have the 10-year is, let's see how we're performing here. Dow hits all-time high, apparently. Walgreens just hit $50. That was sitting at $39 for a very long period of time. So nice boost there. Although a lot of things have boosted since then. So I think that was $39 was probably back in November. And a lot of things have obviously skyrocketed since November. It's been nuts. It's been just an incredible market. I mean, just everything's been winning. Treasury yields very benign right now. You know, we've got here. This is where we had our sort of collapse here. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. I'll zoom in here for a moment. This is where I'll show you here. Let's see. There's also a way. I got to get faster at doing this. Edit chart. One day I'm going to be so fast at putting arrows on here. It's going to be crazy. Oh, I just get a big pointer. That works. So right here, this is when the inflation data came out. We had this spike down, which kind of foreshadowed bonds kind of going down. The inflation data came in pathetically. I mean, like low compared to people's expectations. People are expecting like runaway. That's it. This is the end of the world. I don't see it. Even in the next few months when we expect higher inflation, I don't see it. But that, again, is just going to be relative over year over year. But we've actually declined again. You know, we've kind of been on this downward trajectory since that inflation data came out. So we'll see. That bond auction is coming up. Honestly, the auction might go very well today because people are like, no inflation or whatever. And let's just get the bonds. And then you have a stable bond auction and then you're set. Oh, somebody just posted the time. Shout out to Don't Worry, Be Happy. Appreciate you. Okay, here we go. Okay. Figure this out. Competitive results. Let's see. This page updates on a real-time basis. Non-competitive results will be made available approximately 15 minutes before. Competitive results, 11 a.m. Eastern. Competitive closing time. Oh, okay. So this is really going to be, we're going to get to see this, a lot of this, right between 8 and 8:30, which is approximately when we think Roblox is going to go public. And then during the course member live stream, which this is approximately the time this is actually exactly the time we do the course member live stream. So we'll see the 10-year close out during the course member live stream. And we will see the, what is this? The 6 month? No, 110 days. That's a 10 month. No, sorry. 10 days. No, what is that? 4 month. Am I right? Yeah, 4 month. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the 4 month over here, but the big one, the 10-year, I think that's the big one. We'll see how many billion are being sold there. I'll look that up later. But anyway, the big 10-year is going to be at noon. So keep an eye on that. All right, let's go back to the 6. Fox News says Dow is hitting an all-time high. You can tune in just for a moment here. Let's see what they say.
We like that. See you later,
Yes,
Mark.
we do.
Thank you, sir. Now,
Thank
a
you.
moment ago, we showed you on your screen the so-called shorted stocks. They were all way, way up. And I see we've got NVIDIA on the screen, big mover. What are the rest of the movers, please, Susan?
Yeah, so biggest chip maker in the world, NVIDIA, I think emblematic of the NASDAQ correction and now bounce back. Debates, as we know, underway in the House on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And then lower inflation numbers that came out this morning means that the Federal Reserve is going to stay accommodative and you get $1,400 checks pretty soon. Also, I want to check out the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, rallying today along with Bitcoin, which is up near those record levels.
Yeah, and still selling at a discount, at least as of yesterday. That was still selling at a discount. All right, let's look at the sticks here. My gosh, I mean, this is nice. You know, I have to say, I like the buying opportunity with y'all over the last 3 weeks. I think we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of bonding. You know, we were able to laugh together and cry together. But I'll take the green candlesticks. I mean, don't do it like that. I like the green candlesticks too. You know, it's fun to watch. That's not bad. Look at that, 289 on GameStop. I mean, that's crushing. I mean, Express Cost. I mean, just Wall Street Bets here, absolutely destroying essentially. Fisker, I'm telling you, I said this yesterday. Watch Fisker if you're a trader. I sent an alert to my course members yesterday too. I go, watch Fisker if you are a trader, and here it is. If you opened up a position on it this morning, you would have been up nicely already. It just wouldn't shock me for this to keep running. I can't buy on Webull right now, or maybe I can. Can I buy on Webull right now? I don't think so. I'll check in a moment. But I want to see some of the other sticks. Churchill Capital up 9%. Very nice rally here. I mean, look at these moves. Boom. Boom, nice moves up. A little bit of a red candlestick forming here. Matterport up nicely, a good solid 10% here, stabilizing up 10%. Canoe, what did I say about Canoe? It's going back to 15. It isn't rocket science where these stocks are going. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Factory planned factory expansions for Lucid. Super exciting, which is crazy because they haven't even really begun at their first one, right? I mean, here's the thing about Lucid. They plan to produce 30,000 vehicles probably by the end of next year at one facility. If they start expanding or they build a second facility or even a third one, which they plan to do in Saudi Arabia, whoo, some big opportunities there. Big opportunities there for expansion. I just want to know who they're going to partner with. With whom they are going to partner. Whom? Him, her. Who are they going to partner with? They're going to partner with him. Whom? I just wonder whom they're going to partner with. Grammar. It's a disaster. Oh, man. Lemonade. $98. Wow. When's our Roblox going public? Let's go. Let's see here. Let's see what they're talking about on the Squawk. Oh, who saw my Jim Cramer yesterday? My impersonation there of Jim Cramer. That was fun. I like that.
Here is one that they're just going to keep pounding home, that it's a simpler GE now, a pure industrial company with a finance arm that really barely exists at this point and does not pose risk to shareholders the way, of course, it has for so many years.
Yeah, and implications for, again, a simpler, it sounds like more streamlined earnings reporting process as well. I mean, I just think back to some of those earnings reports.
I appreciate that. Hope I don't get sued. Oh my God. Yeah, me too. All right. So, Weenie Babies. Oh my gosh. You know, the Weenie Baby segment. I can't imagine that for a parody they'd get pissed over that. But you never know what people get pissed off at, you know. So AMC, not as high as it was, but still rallying, still trending up very, very nicely. So is GameStop here, which we've got up. GameStop, we don't actually have an EMA line. Let's get an EMA line up. Come on, where's my EMA? We'll at least get like the EMA 20 or something up. 200, 200. I like having something a little more sensitive too. Let me get the 20 up. And let's make that something very blatant, like a nice yellow. There we go. Okay. Oh, there we go. It might be a little too reactive, the 20. But anyway, no, I like this. So, okay. What else do we have here? So AMC, 14%. Fisker, nice rally here. Churchill's about to hit 10% up and just really going up from there. We haven't checked on Tesla for a while, our little baby Tesla. Just a very small position in Tesla. Really struggling at 700 here. So you've really got that opportunity to go shopping for this thing at 700. We've got Etsy not moving much, Arc not moving much, Pinterest, you know, a couple percent. I mean, it's green. We'll take it. What's Airbnb? Airbnb at 190. Nice. Square. I mean, Airbnb is getting ready to hit all-time highs again. I haven't looked into VMAC. No. Might be something to look into. Let's see what the terminal says here. Rates, by the way, 1.54%. Let's do a tab and do the VMAC. I keep hearing about this one. Pretty sure it was VMAC. Let's see what we got. VMAC. We're also on standby to see when we're going to start trading on Roblox. So this one, what are they acquiring? Let's see. VMAC acquisition. VMAC acquisition announces pricing. Do we know? Did they make an announcement yet? Does anybody know? VMAC entry. Who knows what VMAC's merging with? I have no idea. And if it's just if it's just let's see. Yeah, if it's just an announced SPAC, I don't jump up and down about just an announced SPAC. I want to know what they're targeting. Just $10, something like that. Somebody says they made $250,000 following my picks. I'm on the East Coast, but if I come out west, I'm buying you a beer. Oh, well, thank you for that. A nice big stein, but it's got to be really cold. It's got to have like frost on the outside. That's when you know it's good. It's got frost on the outside. Yeah. I actually did a video about this glut of IPOs and that it was, because Jim Cramer talked about that. And I talked about that as well. But that was also when Jim Cramer was saying we've got this market crash is just beginning. And I hate to say it, but that was Friday. And that was the same day that I posted. And I go, I don't know, Jim, we got some positive catalysts coming up next week. Now, we did end up having a bloody Monday, but the rally did start on Tuesday, and it's here to stay today. So, in fairness, the catalysts I talked about were good catalysts, and they were right. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying, apparently, to answer your question, it doesn't appear like a potential glut of IPOs matters because we're right back into rally mode here. Yeah, certainly I feel like, gosh, there's no shortage of investment options out there. I mean, look at all the NFTs you can buy now. It's so funny. I said yesterday in the Jim Cramer episode, the mock Jim Cramer episode, I go, XL Fleet, don't like it as a long, But as a speculator, short term, it's super dang cheap because it was like $11.90 yesterday. And this thing ran, like, I talked about this thing at $19. I sold it for $20 because I didn't like the company. The very next day, Jim Cramer pumps it on CNBC, and the stock goes from like $20 to $24. Same day, a company comes out and goes, they have a $30 price target. I think it was Citron or whatever. The company rallies up to $34. And I'm like, no way the company's worth that. Like, I sold it at 20 because it's not worth 20. Well, now it's $12. Obviously, we've had a big sell-off period here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it at least rebound off that $11. The $11 is pretty dang cheap, even for a company I don't like. And I can't help being pissed off, but when a company wants to hybridize a pickup truck, and it takes 70 years for a company to have a break even on that pickup truck hybridization, I can't help but feel a little bit pissed off that maybe it's just not the best company to invest in. What do I know? Okay. So, Kevin, please make that show. Maybe. SOS being squeezed, not following BTC though. Thoughts? I don't know. You gotta be careful with the squeezes. You know, sometimes we get these expectations of a squeeze, and the market can do the opposite of what expectations are. You know, UWMC was supposed to be a big Wall Street bets pump today. Not sure about that at 3%. You know, what's Rocket doing? Rocket's up 3% too, so you can. I mean, there's like no difference between the two today. So, you know, I think sometimes we give a little bit too much credit to retail because keep in mind, institutional investors, they're trying to make these trades too. It just wouldn't shock me for massive institutional money to be flowing into GameStop as well. As much as we think, oh no, this is just the retail buyers on GameStop. No, there can be big hedgies making big plays here too. Especially with the amount of volatility there is at GameStop, there's money to be made. So keep that in mind. All right, let's look at the 10-year again here. What do we got at 10? 10 years, 1.54. Okay, fine. What's on the CNBC?
The infrastructure, you know, get the
Curaleaf?
acquired licenses, build
Don't
the
care.
distribution.
There's cannabis though. We do, and
Has
sometimes
to
we care about
stop
that.
using his name and likeness.
Oh God, politics again. Okay, I'd rather listen
A
to cannabis.
medical business, and in Europe, it's actually a pharmaceutical business. In the United States, the pharmaceutical companies have not gotten involved in the cannabis sector. In Europe, the pharmaceutical companies are working very closely with a lot of the cannabis companies to try and develop drugs for their patients.
Boris, why do you think that is? Why do you think U.S. pharmaceutical companies haven't gotten more involved? It almost seems like if they did, that might increase the push or increase the urgency potentially to legalize on a federal level.
Well, pharmaceutical companies in Europe take a very different view of cannabis. It's a natural product. They don't mind working with the biological aspect, natural product. U.S. market is, and the FDA in particular, is very much focused on creating synthetic drugs. So it really is. It's a culture issue. Asia is very much like Europe in that respect. Europe is heading much.
Let's take a look at what Bitcoin's up to as well.
System, one where
So let's jump on over and see what the Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin. Thank you for whoever sent this calendar. Somebody also sent this over. Take a look at this. It seems like a cool resource. There we go. So, investing.com. I actually, if you haven't gotten the investing.com app yet, it's actually a really good app to have on your phone because you can see futures very easily. I really enjoy investing.com. Got a ton of ads, but okay. So where were we? Economic calendar. Oh, this is convenient. So what do you got here? Oh, let's see. Okay, well here's CPI. So that's the data that we saw this morning. Where's the? Oh, here's the 10-year. Oh, good. So here we can get potentially. It tells us at 1 p.m. See, it gives us a whole calendar of events happening here. 10-year note auction. Good. Oh, that's great. Great. So we'll get to keep an eye on this. Very, very convenient. And then I don't know. Can we actually see? Oh, bonds. Let's throw bonds in here. Like, let's take commodities off and throw bonds in. This is not a bad website. Do I have to sign in? Is it really going to make me do that? No, apply. Oh, I think it will. Jerks. Okay, well, Darn them. I don't want to have to make an account. Although it can't be that hard to make an account. I mean, I know it's not. But let's see if we can look at the 10-year on here. So if I go United States 10-year. Oh, here we go. Oh, good. No, so they have delayed data as well. I feel everybody's delaying data like 10 minutes on the yield. So keep that in mind when you look at the yield data. This one's coming in at, well, it says real-time data. How do you figure that's real-time data? It's like real-time delayed. That's kind of like when Wetzel Pretzels did its forever smoothie, limited time only. So what's Bloomberg's delay? I think Bloomberg is also at least like 8 minutes. And maybe I just need to pay for real-time data. If possible, but I'm not a bond trader, so I'm not going to pay for it. So the last tick we have over here is about 6 minutes. I mean, 6 minutes old. That's not bad. I'll take 6 minutes as a delay. Although up here it says 10:21 last trade, so maybe it's not as delayed here on Bloomberg as I think it is. So last year, oh yeah, maybe not. No, actually, I think we got real-time data on the bonds here. Oh, that's good. So actually good. So paying for the Bloomberg terminal is actually giving us something. That's nice. It's good to know paying 25 grand actually gives you something. Okay, look at this, folks. GameStop. What did we say this morning? That good old GameStop was probably going to retrace to what it did in the pre-market. In the pre-market, it was 296. We actually just hit a high. We hit 304 within the last 2 minutes. That's freaking amazing. Just absolutely insane. Okay, here there's a DFV tweet. Let's see here. Roaring Kitty. Let's see. 2 tweets in the last hour. All right, let's see what we got. I love the memes. So one is a meme, and one is a YouTube video. The evolution of the Liu Kang.
It's beautiful. Go clean your bedroom.
Okay, skip that ad. See, this is the quality content you come here for. That's actually pretty funny. I like that. Okay, good. Let's give that a nice little heart. Good, great. All right, let's hop on over. So yes, that is kind of what's happening at the GameStop stock right now. Oh my gosh, I love it. So, all right, GameStop moving up solidly. AMC, Fuel Cell, Open Door, Canoe. A little bit of red candles coming in here. Yeah, a couple red candles here, down from about that 10% that we had a little bit earlier today. Possibly the market just getting a little hesitant about, yay, inflation data, but then, bond auction coming up soon. Maybe we'll see. Bond auction starts at 9 Pacific. Is it 9 Pacific? Yeah, starts at 9 Pacific, ends at 10 Pacific for the 10-year. Though there is another auction that does begin in about 35 minutes for a shorter-term bond. Yeah, a lot of red candles all of a sudden here. And again, that could very well be because of, the market just kind of saying, okay, let's just take profits for a moment. Let's stand by. Let's wait. And, let's circle back. Okay, we'll circle back after the bond auction. So if you're trading, that's something to keep in mind. That's probably what's going on. Probably. I mean, what do I know? I think there's a good chance that's what's going on. Huh. Okay. Yeah, AMC red candlesticking as well. Fuel Cell as well. Everything's red candlesticking a little bit right now. Let's look at SPY. Also some red candlesticks here. Just in the last few minutes. Okay. Social Capital, Apple. Ears and eyes lost their steam. That's funny. All right, let's see. Rate at 1.53. See, the rate keeps declining, but again, we've got the first auction coming in about 35 minutes as a start. Let's look at top news for a moment. See what the suits are reading. I always like seeing what the suits are reading. All right. Here's the news. So what do we have here? Citadel portfolio manager Chris Wheeler leaves hedge fund again. Wall Street A-listers fled to Florida. Now many eye a return. What? A return to where? Like New York? Yeah. I returned to New York. Why would you go back? Why would you go back? I mean, I guess you need to be where offices are. I mean, I do get that. Wow. Okay, we don't need to read the rich people gossip, but that is interesting. All right, CPI rises less than estimates, easing inflation. Yep, inflation calmed. We talked about this morning. I can't believe I was awake for that. I was dying this morning. It was bad. But then I had coffee. Actually, I'm only about a half a cup in on coffee right now. And anyway, Bitcoin gains for fourth day, even as inflation concern eases. This is what I'm talking about. The link between inflation and Bitcoin is way weaker than people think. It's not just about inflation. Now, I do believe that Bitcoin will rally when we see larger inflation numbers. But I don't think that necessarily means, especially if this continues, because this is new. We've just been talking about this for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. Originally, like, talk to me in January, and I'm like, oh yeah, inflation linked up with Bitcoin. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been noticing Bitcoin breaking apart from trading with inflation expectations. Instead, it's trading more like a tech stock than it is an inflation trade. Although the tech stocks are going up with good news on inflation. So, you know, who knows? What came first, the chicken or the egg, I suppose. Bank of Canada stands pat on stimulus, keeps up bond purchases. Wow, Canada was actually expected to reduce their bond purchases. And so they're staying strong with their money printing. So we are getting red candlesticks here. Social Capital, I'm pretty sure IPOF was green at the open, now going down. So we are seeing a little bit of red come into here. This could potentially be as the market is preparing for this bond auction. Bumble, Nordstrom, the cannabis plays are going red. Hyliion red. Sundial red. Wayfair went red. Although I think Wayfair's been mostly red most of the day here. We've got Amazon, Target ready to go red. We got some red candlesticks coming out here. Drive ETF red. Walmart's doing okay. Netflix straight down. Just all of a sudden, really in the last 6 minutes, we've had a lot of red candles here. And it's that tenuousness about the market. Look at PayPal selling off. Pfizer's actually going up. That's interesting. Tesla. Oh, Tesla gave it up big. Oh man, dude, Tesla was like 610. It's all this is people paper handing the bond auction. You know what? Okay, I got an idea. All right. So my idea has to do with buying. What if the best time to buy ends up being right like a few minutes before the 10-year auction begins? I mean, it's going to be tough because we've got an auction happening. We got a short-term auction happening. I think it's the 3-month or the 4. It's a 3-month. We got the 3-month auction happening starting in 31 minutes. That, who knows how that auction goes and how much of an effect the 3-month bond is going to have on the market. But we've got a really, really, really big 10-year auction, and everybody's talking about the 10-year. The 10-year auction starts when we do our course member live stream and ends around the same time we do our course member live stream. I would not be shocked that we get some nice potential buying opportunities right as that bond auction starts. And if that bond auction does very well, we rally into the close. That's the kind of play I would probably be making today. If I was going to make a big play today, that's what I'd be thinking about doing today. And I might make that play, especially with how we're getting the sell-off right now. Roblox not open yet. We're waiting for it still. But yeah, we've got a big sharp sell-off here. Okay, a little bit of a bottom happening there on CCIV. Hold on a second here. Let's see. This has all started in about the last 10 minutes here. Fuel cell giving it up big in the last 10 minutes here. Last 10 minutes, all of a sudden, have seen a big decline here. Open door. What else do we have here? Hold on a sec. I got the chat open again here. Okay. Okay. All right, so welcome. Sorry, one sec. Welcome. All right. My God, auction. Hold on one sec. 1 hour ish. Okay, so yeah, no, everything is dropping. The last 10 minutes are creating pain in the market. Again, I think it's because the auctions are coming up. The first auction on the 3-month begins in 29 minutes. The 10-year auction will be during the course member live stream between 9 and 10 Pacific. So it will end at around 10 a.m. Pacific. Could be some sweet, sweet buying opportunities there. Unless, obviously, the auction goes to crap. But I don't think so. With that inflation data we got this morning, I actually think the auction is going to do very well. We'll see. Okay. All right. So Carnival. What else? What else? Fleer. Win. No. Okay. What's Disney doing? Yeah, Disney's also got that sell-off. Let's see what their market alert is. Let's see what CNBC has to say for themselves.
Tell me a bit about direct listings and your expectations here, if you have any for Roblox. I mean,
60 to 65 for Roblox. Wow.
Significant names choose that as the way to come public. This is yet another one, an important one, I would think, for the NYSE.
That would put them around 40 to 45 billion.
Really exciting day for the entire Roblox community, their employers, their creators, all waiting to watch and see how Roblox opens. And they took a unique path to the public markets, which is becoming a little bit more popular as we see additional companies look to explore alternatives. And so they decided to go become a public company using a direct listing. So they're not raising capital today in this moment. They didn't have an underwritten offering last night. They're having their first price established by the market maker on the New York Stock Exchange trading floor right now, aggregating all the buyers and sellers to determine where Roblox will open as a public.
This is coming up. This is coming very, very soon. You know, again, the big concerns with this one are what's going to happen once the pandemic ends. People still going to be playing this as much. Are those Robux going to be as valuable for the company? They make about 3 times as much money on Robux than what their creators make. Yet they're still losing money. Lost a lot of money. They made almost $1 billion in revenue and lost somewhere around over $200 million they lost, despite all that revenue. I mean, I know they are developing new games, so you know that, but still.
Price discovery process can take a bit longer as we aggregate all of that interest and are looking for a stable opening price. So I do expect it'll be a little while yet.
Stacey, I'm curious. I mean, this is the first sort of big direct listing that we've seen since the rules were changed, or I guess altered by the SEC to allow direct listings with capital raises as well. I mean, Roblox was originally expected to do a more traditional IPO, then scrap those plans after the big bounces we saw in names like DoorDash and Airbnb. But they're not raising capital this time around. What do those conversations look like, especially as you are potentially courting more companies to this direct listing route with these new rules?
I just want to make a comment here. So, DC, you are correct. The company was doubling users before the pandemic. But what you want to do with this, and I'll put that challenge on you, what you want to do with this is you want to align what games went viral around that time before the pandemic. And keep in mind, a company doubling users, Roblox doubling users before the pandemic, how large were they before the pandemic? You know, how much was really a doubling? And do we have an expectation for that kind of user growth again or not? Did it come at the same time as one game went viral? It's tough. I mean, it's kind of like if somebody told you, hey, do you want to invest in Fortnite? I don't know, 10 years ago, right? Obviously today, it's like, I think we would all love to have owned shares in the Fortnite company, whether they were private or whatever 10 years ago. But it's so hard to know, like, what's going to go viral in terms of gaming. Now, Roblox makes a lot of games. So, I mean, I love the company. It'll just be interesting to see. The other thing, too, is market expectations, right? If the market expects that Roblox user counts are going to decline and slow, then you might actually see that end up pricing in after the IPO hype wears off. Usually, IPO is a period of peak hype. I mean, look, everybody's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's got it up on the screen. So, keep that in mind. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
These are choosing what's the right one for them. It's not a one-size-fits-all market, and we shouldn't pretend that it is. And so we are seeing companies ask and look for alternatives, especially if raising capital isn't their primary goal of going public, and they want to make sure that there's more democratization in that process or more control for them in the case of a SPAC where they can negotiate a deal and that they have a little bit more control there. It's faster. They still go through the filing process and become a public company with all the same documentation as a public company that it requires, but it gives them some control and it gives them the ability to actually share forward-looking projections, which direct listings do
Stacey,
too, which I think that's important. A traditional IPO, you can't.
I think there's no way your limit's getting filled at $35 or $32. I think people would be, honestly, I mean, if this is going to pop open at 65 to 70, this is going to run to like 80 and then probably just deflate. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it'll stay strong. 45 bill for the gaming company. I don't know. What's Activision going for? Let's see. Activision stock. Let's see here. Activision's a $72 billion company, right? There's a comp for you. Now, we can look at profitability and things like that. We're not going to do that right now. Let's look at like EA. Electronic Arts, $37 billion company. So right now, Roblox is being valued more than EA. Maybe that's fair. Maybe that's a little high. Who knows? Dude, stop. Jay Moolah, I see what you're doing. You're 69%. Oh, man. All right, so let's see what else is happening in the market here, because I think we continuing to see red candlesticks here as the first bond auction gets started here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, $29 billion valuation right now, but if it opens at 60 to 65, it's going to be more like a 40 to 45 billion dollar valuation, and if it runs above that, you're just going into 50 to 60 billion. All right, let's look at the tickers. So GameStop really stable. AMC struggling a little bit here to sustain. Coming back a little bit. We had that 10-minute sell-off there. Coming back a little bit at NGA, Luminaire. Fisker had that same decline here. Enphase also saw those red candles. Tentative. Market is really nervous, I feel like, for this bond auction. Well, and it makes sense, too, because, I mean, think about the disaster that happened, at the last big auction. I think it was, Thursday? I mean, the market got destroyed. The market got absolutely wrecked. And we don't want the market to get wrecked. So it doesn't surprise me that maybe there's a little bit of profit taking before the bond auction. And, that way, if there's a sell-off, people are insulated. And if there's not, they can come back in. It wouldn't shock me to see hedgies and the fund managers doing exactly that. I mean, on a day like today and Bumble's down 3.4%, what's Bumble relative to IPO price? I feel like they've just gotten beat up. Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, so they closed on IPO day at $73. They're at $61 right now. Oh, jeez. You think eBay is ever going to break out of the 50s? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, it broke out temporarily there out of the 50s, but I mean, it's probably just been bobbing off 55 here-ish, as low as 50 at some point here, for really the last 6 months. It's been doing nothing. It's been a sideways trader. Like another one that's been a big sideways trader, Salesforce. Big sideways trade since August. It's like the stock has done nothing. Same is true, too, with like an Amazon. The stock's really just done. Look at this. Look at my beautiful lines that we've drawn here. It's just perfectly within range bound. It's kind of sad. Yeah. All right. Go back over here.
So it's our job in the financial services industry to make sure we're telling that story and not leaving blanks in the story. You know, I like to use the expression no Mad Libs. If you leave blanks in the stories, people are going to write crazy stories. And so we need to make sure, one, that the facts are out there and true.
Let's just talk about crazy stories. I want to talk about Roblox. I don't know what these crazy stories are about.
Centers.
Why do you hate eBay, Josh?
States across the country, 110 of these fulfillment centers. If the union were to come there, whoa, that might really change the way they do business. But, you know, in Chicago, I don't know how you operate with that.
Why? I don't know why they spend all this money to send these reporters to go stand outside a chain link fence. Like, what's the difference between this guy just having a green screen of an Amazon factory behind him and him driving out or flying out to go film a video in front of a chain link fence? There's just a waste of money.
Minutes ago, but now we're lower because look, we have some new news from Amazon and Amazon Music launching a shopping experience. So it makes it easier to find merchandise and swag on favorite artists, which again, you know, if you want to, you can criticize their business practices, but when it comes to their business ventures, they do well when it comes to evolution and evolving. So Tesla is another stock I want to highlight, up again after that 20% rally yesterday. It's really coming off today, isn't it, Stu? So we were up about 3% just a few minutes ago, and now we're lower in the session. So I think some of this froth might be coming out. Now, China sales were actually fantastic for the month of February for Tesla, and it was up despite a shortened month and a week of stoppage owing to the Chinese New Year. Let's also check in on Boeing as well, since there's a quick turnaround taking place. Boeing's still higher. We know it's helping lift the Dow today. And then I want to throw in the growth momentum plays, the Palantirs, CrowdStrikes, DocuSigns. You know, these stocks have really come off a lot during that NASDAQ correction, 10% down from recent peaks, but rebounding. And I did see CrowdStrike up some 2-3% just a few minutes ago. Same thing with DocuSign. But, you know, it's interesting. I guess maybe
it's the bonds. People are just nervous about the bond auction. That's fine. It'll be fine. It's all going to be okay. It's a commercial. Okay, fine. Here, I'll pull up Bloomberg TV, and then we'll go back to the sticks here. But let me just hang out here for a second.
As opposed to
Jersey.
New Jersey. But there you go.
Well,
Jersey, that's
same
right.
question can be asked of a lot of people.
Indeed, they could. Well said, Susan. All right, talk to me about Roblox. Okay, gaming company.
Yes.
They create games as well. Going public today. I was told they were going out at $45 a share. Has that moved
That's a
up
reference
now?
rate, right? So in these direct listings, you have a reference price saying, okay, it'll be priced at least at $45. So it looks like right now indicated open is $65 to $70.
Oh, it moved up again, 65 to 70. I'm telling you, this is going to 80 or above. You're not, if you got limits set at like 45 or 50, I don't think you're going to get it. Chew Gum, shout out. Just bought your course, ready to make some tennies. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining. My son has been coding and designing games on Roblox since he was 9. He also has a few clothing shops. It's a good starter business for kids. That's awesome. I should get Jack in that.
That almost doubled last year. 50% of these users are younger, 13 years and much younger than that. So it's a great company that democratizes game development. So me and you,
everything's got to be democratized.
Games and get paid for it, and they have been paying out for 1,200 of these developers. But at a $30 billion valuation, Stu, you know, that's almost 7 times
more
what Roblox raised cash at 11 months ago. But again, opportunistic, right? Given the rally that we've seen, and we're close to these record levels for the NASDAQ and for technology.
It's going to be way more. I'll calculate it.
When they go out with a direct listing, who gets the money?
They do. Early investors, early employees, and they're not raising cash. So this is not an IPO, right? This is an opportunity for the early founders and investors to get out, which they say is actually better because the IPO process may be broken and only rewarding the Wall Street hedge funds that get in and then make that quick turnaround, fast money in 24 hours.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Let's go. Let's watch this again. Big-time British TV news anchor Piers Morgan storms off the set of Good Morning Britain. He was challenged on his Meghan Markle comments. He's now leaving the show. Ash?
I haven't seen that. I do kind of want to see that.
Well, this outspoken co-host, he's not.
No, did he really? I mean, we're going to look at the sticks here in a moment, but Piers Morgan Who watched him on The Apprentice, like way back when it was okay to not like piss off half your friends and say that you watched something from Donald Trump, right? Back in the Apprentice days, like the OG Apprentice days. Piers Morgan. Storms. No way. Let's see here. He'll be back. Yeah, I feel like they're always back. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Oh, they were just playing it there, but whatever. I found it here too. Okay, I promise we're gonna go back to the sticks in a moment, but we gotta watch. Beat Trace Adkins. Oh, I got Bloomberg up too. I always do this. I always end up having Bloomberg's audio on. There we go.
Thing about you since she cut you off, I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not mine.
No.
See you later.
I'm being.
Sorry.
That's Piers Morgan's storm.
Sorry. Oh man. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's go back. Let's see what we were talking about over here. All right, what do we got?
Drive, which is the street
Wolfgang Puck
is on, has become an outdoor dining destination. People can walk on the sidewalk and go from restaurant to restaurant.
I will say one thing I hope they do. I really hope he's a weenie baby. I just saw that. Good one. Yeah, I mean, walking off the set, I mean, I don't know. It's either publicity stunt or somebody's being a little butthurt. But hey, you know, I didn't listen to the whole thing. Okay, like who knows? I don't know what was said before. What do I know, right? You guys saw what I saw. But one thing I will say is I hope in downtowns and cities where they're doing that, like where you could walk and eat at restaurants outside, like on the street. I hope they keep that. I really do.
Country and really across the world, as we are seeing reopenings happen to varying degrees in those different markets. Are consumers coming? Are people coming?
You know, people actually come. People want to be safe. I always said, you know, I want my employees to be safe. I want our customers to be safe. When they shut us down, like before Thanksgiving here in LA County, for example, you know, people stayed home. That's where they got more COVID than coming to the restaurant because nobody tests them at home. We do a test for the employees. It now is for a year now.
In 1 sec, I'm doing some math on Roblox.
Test them, and the customers know that. And I think now some of the older customers got vaccinated already twice, and they come in with a big smile and says, I got both of my vaccinations, and they seem so happy to go out and feel safe.
Yeah, we can't wait, Chef. I can't wait to.
Yeah, business is really.
I do have one question for you.
Yeah,
Chef, about food prices. We got some inflation numbers this morning, and food is definitely one of the prices that is going up rather than down. How do you avoid giving consumers sticker shock when they open the menu?
Well, I really believe that right now people are really excited about being able to go to the restaurants. So naturally, we always supported the local farmers. We go to the farmers market in the morning and pick up the vegetables, the fruits. And we generally don't look so much about the quality, about the prices. We would look about the quality. And the same thing is at the fish market. So in the upscale restaurant industry, you know, if you charge $1 more for a pound of broccoli, it doesn't make such a big difference. But if you are in the fast food industry, obviously that makes a big difference. So for me, it's not only that we can open the restaurants, that we can employ the people, that they have a job, that they feel dignified to work instead of sitting at home. But it's also to support our local farmers, to support the fishermen, so bring in the fish.
Yeah, I mean, I love outdoor dining. They do say, I mean, study after study says right now that people are getting more COVID at restaurants, which is unfortunate. And I think it's probably indoor in that cold season. If the government had just, in my opinion, pushed proper ventilation, it wouldn't have been such a big issue. But what I did just for the Roblox IPO was I put together a little spreadsheet here. It's not like it's anything special, but basically at $45, the thing is valued at. So we'll put, you know, market cap in billions of dollars. So at $70, this company's worth about 46 billion is what they're asking for. So if I change this to like $80, let's say, it's a $52 billion company. So we could kind of play with this and see what we think, the valuation might be, or what the valuation would be based on what the share price is when it actually opens. We're still waiting for Roblox to open. My guess is, within the next 10 to 20 minutes, Roblox could be opening. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, let's hop on for a moment and let's just go to Bloomberg. Just see what Bloomberg's saying. Here's Roblox, 65 to 70. My gosh.
Today, they're still a little young, but they would stay on there for hours if I let them. What are your plans for post-pandemic growth? I know you're expecting growth to slow this year. How do you continue to grow when we're not on lockdown? And how do you reach older adults too?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been growing for 15 years, and everyone at Roblox wants COVID to end as soon as possible. We reach out to everyone around us. But
okay, so Jason here says direct listings could start at noon. You're thinking noon Eastern time? Then they're talking about it pretty early.
Today, a lot of the time to play, but in the future, more and more, it will be to learn together or to work together. Inside Roblox, we're holding our company town halls on Roblox and our holiday party. And later today, we're all going to go into a Roblox virtual New York Stock Exchange and get to celebrate this. There's amazing growth opportunities for us in bringing everyone together around the world, connecting people of all ages, and as we expand, thinking about a new vision for what this type of technology will support.
So let's talk about
Great. Let's jump on over quickly here. Let's jump to the sticks. See what's going on. Going back to the sticks here. So GameStop, 295, up almost 20% here. AMC up about 10%. A little bit of a recovery here. Soft recovery. It's not a very strong recovery. We're not at that same kind of rally that we were seeing earlier. Partially, it's got to be because of the bond auction coming up. I mean, even Bitcoin, Bitcoin's still doing well. Let's see if we can go to the minute here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing okay. Shift up 5%. Not the kind of rally we had earlier today. Enphase, 4.5%. Redfin, we've definitely sold off a little bit from the peaks we saw. I mean, Churchill Capital was up 10% at one point today. All right, now we're only up 4%. Look, Matterport was up 10% today. Now we're up 3.5%. Palantir was up more than this. Everything was up more. We had a really nice green opening. A lot of that has somewhat evaporated here as we go into this bigger bond auction starting. We got one auction starting in 8 minutes. I don't know how much volatility we'll see from that, but we've got the big one, the 10-year, starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, ends at 10 a.m. Pacific. That'll be the big one. That could move markets a lot, and I think everybody's going to be paying attention to that. Personally, I'm expecting it to be stable and fine. And in that case, I think stocks could rally. So if you're looking for a buying opportunity, maybe that'll be now. Unless you buy and the bond auction goes poorly, well, then you got screwed. So I will probably if there's a good chance I'll do some buying. Obviously, I'll be sending alerts for, as usual, anytime I buy or sell. Like when I sold before this correction, I sent alerts out. I sent a spreadsheet with all my sales. When I buy, I post those. So just make sure you use that coupon code down below. Get in before that expires. What do we have here? Gosh, Tesla's flat. Tesla there's so much of this. I mean, everything rallied on, are they doing the 5-year and 10-year? I think they're doing the 3-month and the 10-year. That's what I think. But everything rallied after CPI, which was very, very good. But everything's not rallying now. We're kind of getting to potential red territory here. Palantir, very powerful, worked with the military in the beginning. Excited to see it grow. A lot of people in the military are gung-ho about this, like hardcore gung-ho. And that's something I like seeing when people are actually using the product. They're like, oh my God, that's a good thing. But I really do think bonds are going to be able to create a buying opportunity here for stocks. We'll see what happens. It might be a shopping opportunity soon here. Yeah. Okay, what's going on here? We are turning red. So what's Twitter doing? Twitter's at 66. This cannabis company down a couple percent. It's nothing compared to the rally it's done. The cannabis ETF was up like 5% today. It's crazy. Crazy. I won't be live on YouTube for the bond auction publicly, but I will be live with course members during that time frame because that is our allocated course member time frame, 9 to 10. Agora, APS. So there'll be a lot more Q&A. Generally, what I do during the course member streams. Okay, Target and real estate. Etsy. Gosh, Etsy flat. Look at this. I mean, we are going from being up to being flat or being null in the day. No movement in the day here. Very Good Food was negative. It's actually turned positive here. Tesla sticking to about. I cannot define any kind of support for you on Tesla today. Certainly not on today's pricing. If we go to an hour here. I mean, we always have volatility around 700, but if we go back further, no, I can't say there's any well-defined support around 700. I mean, maybe right around 700, 690. I don't know. All right. What else do we have? Yeah, market's a little nervous. Lemonade back under 100. It's at $94. Nice rally. Poof, gone. But those are the little buying opportunities. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Okay. I'm going to go shopping soon. Yeah, no kidding. So can somebody get a confirmation on what time the direct listing is going to drop for Roblox? Let's talk about GameStop here. Let's listen to this. I'll check for a moment.
Media Influence Sentiment ETF, the one that kind of tracks these internet board mentions, Twitter mentions, things like that. It launched not too long ago, about a $300 million mutual fund right now, or ETF, is now up about 0.5%. So Carl will keep an eye on all of those social sentiment stocks in today's trade. Back over to you guys.
All right, Dom, thank you very much. Speaking of some high valuations, Tesla's in a bit of a fade here this morning. Did get to 717 at the open. We're going to talk about the attempt to extend the gains yesterday, which, of course, were among the highest in a year. When Squawk Alley starts in a moment.
All right. So still trying to figure out time. Between 11 and noon Eastern, they say. That's what I thought. Is that it would be in that 8 o'clock Pacific hour. That was my guess. Yeah, thank you for verifying that. Tattooed Chef today. I know. Manish Singh, watch lecture 1.1 and that'll get you right in. Same for you, Alex. So check out lecture 1.1.0. If you have any issues, email Kathy. She's working. Actually, she comes to work shortly. Oh, no, she's working already. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Let's look at the top news on Bloomberg here. Okay. All right. Oh my God. What? Okay. Jeez, man. I did this interview. This kind of stuff, I have to say, this is really annoying. I did an interview on Bitcoin with someone at ARK Invest, and it's a live interview. Like it's on YouTube, unlisted, and I just want to publish it. And now I have to go through and edit out 5 spots they're not happy about. Like, come on. I'm not obviously going to throw them under the bus and say what those things are. It's just annoying. That's so annoying. It's not Kathy. It's a really, really great guy. It's their Bitcoin analyst, Yassine. Great guy. Like super, super excited to post it. But I hate that. Like if it's supposed to be a live interview, it's supposed to be raw. But now I got to download it, and then the resolution's going to be garbage, and then I got to re-upload it. It's just a pisser. That's what that is. That's stupid. What's the point of that? Stupid. And it's not really their fault. It's the SEC and that kind of crap, you know? It's so stupid. And this is why it's just not authentic. Exactly. When you have to go through and like edit crap out and stuff like that. And it's not their fault. It's the SEC and then just people being worried about lawsuits and regulatory bull crap. It's so stupid. So dumb. But anyway, let's go back here and wow, jeez, man. Okay, so frustrating. Let's go back here and see what the sticks are doing. So what else here? AMC 11%, Open Door, Fubu, Fisker 8%, cool. Luminar, Shift 6.4%. Shift, that's a decent movement, but again, Shift is super low move really after this smashing earnings they had. It's such a great company. I'll be whole diamond handing that one for sure. Yeah, it's really soft market here. Soft market here. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. So the 3-month treasury auction should be starting now. Let's see if we can. So the 10-year is actually declining as of right now. So we had a nice decline right at the open. I can't say that was right at the open. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Zoom into just this segment right here. There we go. So 8 o'clock. It's hard to say what happened right here. So we'll keep an eye on this right here. Here's our 8 o'clock line, or 11 Pacific. Or sorry, 11 Eastern rather. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But the one that's really moving right now is actually going to be the 3-month. Let's see if we can pull the 3-month treasury. 3-month treasury. Is that something we can pull? 3-month treasury? Bill index. Current. I don't know which one I want to use here. Yield. Let's go with yield. Yield is, I don't want to sit here and calculate pricing to yield. So I'd rather just have a yield chart. All right, here we go. So this is I'm pretty sure this is the auction that's happening now. Do we not have data for this? 3-day. Where is it? 1 month? Why do I have to go out so far? Maybe there's no real-time data on this one. Ah, it's interesting. Okay. Well, the big auction anyway, the 10-year is the one that's happening in about an hour.
Joins us this morning along with Roth Capital's Craig Irwin. Gents, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Craig, I'm almost grateful for just the 1% move right now, because how much can investors be expected to understand valuations when the stock price is moving 20% day to day?
Yeah, understanding valuations, I think, is an interesting topic. Tesla's been valued recently at more than the total value of the U.S. and European automotive market combined. So at this point, I think valuation is not really the main game. I think people are playing technicals and trading momentum, and the external factors from the yield curve, the anticipated changes in the yield curve, are really more what's driving the stock than valuation.
So, all right, but if we argue, let's at least deal with direction. If the valuation trend is higher, is the street rightly folding in things like data from autonomous driving, batteries, electric grid? Is the street thinking of the name holistically enough?
Yeah, so the bulls all believe that there's a lot of value in the software in the Tesla cars. They're dreaming of $100,000 in value per car, robo taxis, fully autonomous driving. And we understand that Elon actually talks, when he thinks he's far from Wall Street, about taking on the railroads with his autonomous electric trucks somewhere out in the future. So there's a lot of sort of lofty dreams around Tesla. So the bulls, they hang their hat on what they choose to hang their hat on. I'm not a bull. I'm a skeptical guy, so I don't see much evidence for that playing out that way. But I understand why the stock is moving. People are buying it off a technical level, and they have pretty aggressive long-term expectations.
Yeah, it's painful
not to be a bull, at least to the ego in Tesla over the last few months. And so, Tim, it's been about 4 months since Tesla went on this astounding run. I'm going to use the word astounding because it's about the most neutral one that I can find. Do you think there's perspective to be had on exactly why it's gone on the run, what it means? I'm
excited for Roblox here, but no insight yet on exactly what time. But that's not uncommon, so we're standing by for that. I will say Fisker is running again, folks. This is one I just want to give you a heads up on, and I've been talking about this one since yesterday. Fisker is one that wants to run. It is one that ran before this correction. It ran to like $30. People see this as a low value play. An opportunity, especially in the face of like the CCAVs and the Teslas. I personally don't love the company long term, but it's definitely something people are trading. So keep an eye on Fisker. It keeps going back up to this 10% range. We had a little bit of a sell-off here, but the entire market was doing this sell-off. We've got GameStop relatively flat intraday, but still up 18% at open. Open door back up 9%. This sold off way too much when it went under 20. It was almost like 18 at one point. It was crazy. Fuel cell had a little bit of that sell-off as well here, leading into these bond auctions that are coming up. And we've got a bond auction happening right now on the 3-month, and the big one, the 10-year, is going to be between 9 and 10 Pacific time today. That's going to be a big auction, and I think stocks will move dramatically. Either during that, I don't know how updated we'll get yields, but yeah, we'll see. Craig got an interview with Tesla dropped in Tesla going to one. I don't know who Craig is. Is that a person who's up here? Somebody's commenting about Craig here. Still in EBIX, yep. I said Fisker, not Fister. Fisker is FSR. Okay, let's see. 30% revenue just from their energy sector is projected. I believe that. I don't know this particular person who was just chatting there, but yeah, Tesla, the energy sector is so undervalued in my opinion, terribly undervalued. I just don't think people are really giving Tesla credit for it. So, okay. All right, let's see here. I know they're interviewing this guy, but let's jump on over for a moment. Let's see what we've got over at Varnes. Okay, what do we got here?
Thank you.
Good, man.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. I wanted the compliment. I was fishing vigorously. I got it. Hey, Tepper, for a youngster, you're all right. We'll see you again soon, sir. Thank you very much indeed. All right. Have a look at this. It is an op-ed from doctors quoted in USA Today. Here it is. The CDC misinterpreted our research on opening schools.
All right, let's jump over here.
Obviously, they will have an interesting time coming through on some of these software commitments that they seem to be making out there. And, electric trucks, I don't believe in long haul with batteries. I think it's a last mile delivery fit. So we'll see. I mean, there's plenty of room for Tesla to miss longer term expectations. And, it's going to take some time to play out.
Tim, what do you say? Is that idea just for the battery nerds? I mean, according to the report, a battery of the size they reported on could power about 20,000 homes on a hot summer day. Is that sort of pie in the sky moonshot idea?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's still small for Tesla, and it's really a hobby at this point. I mean, listen, Elon has talked about solar and these battery projects for a long time, but when it comes down to it, it's about making cars, and their focus is largely supposedly going to be on the execution of getting these factories online in Texas and in Germany.
All right. Let's jump on over for a moment. I just want to listen to Bloomberg on the International Monetary Fund regarding more stimulus.
The inflation that we see is going to be cost push. It's going to be limited. It's going to be something which the Fed and other central banks will look through. And this is what we've got to resolve over the next quarter or beyond. And I think what we've got now is for fairly choppy conditions, perhaps a more resilient dollar. But I do think that we're not going to see an awful lot of permanence in inflation, and therefore we will still see perhaps a weakening dollar against many high yield currencies.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm wondering about how you should play tomorrow. Do you want to be long euro in and short out? What will be if Christine Lagarde is dovish tomorrow, but it's talk rather than buy? How long does that dovishness last? How quickly do you think it could fade?
Well, I don't think that many people are expecting her to be particularly overly dovish. I think most people are anticipating it is just going to be talk. So from that point of view, perhaps the bar hasn't been set really high. But it's difficult to have a position just on the euro without really thinking about what the dollar is doing, because I think this is really the linchpin of the foreign exchange market. It has been for a while. It has been this year. And almost irrespective of what you think about the euro, what will the dollar do tomorrow? What will the dollar do during the course of the next week or two? And of course, what we've seen today is the market really focused on that CPI release, really relieved that it wasn't.
Which they were positive about.
Actually, this isn't the month that the CPI in the US was going to be particularly strong
No,
anyway. We've
next
got
month.
that strength to come in the next month and over the next quarter as we see that.
She's right.
From oil coming through. So I think for euro dollar, I think maybe we will trend a little bit higher over the course of the next few weeks, but it is going to be choppy, and I think you've got to be really fast if you really are going to take a short-term position here.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that break-evens in the U.S. are still quite high. They haven't come down. All right, Jane, thanks a lot. Always wonderful to catch up with you, Jane Foley of Rabobank. Well, here's something interesting, Guy, as we look ahead to the ECB. Apparently, climate activists from Greenpeace paraglided under the roof of part of the European Central Bank on Wednesday morning.
Okay, protester on the roof. Yeah, I mean, that was actually interesting. I have to say, the more and more we talk about inflation, the more and more we realize, look, we're going to have this funky CPI data coming in, in April, May, and June, but referencing the month prior. But actual real inflation, in a weird way, we're just not seeing it. Now, in some things, we're seeing inflation, right? But we have to separate these things. Energy, food, those are problems. But they're being offset by disinflation in other places, or in some cases, just outright deflation. And then also, we have to separate asset price inflation. We can't call stocks and real estate going up inflation because, those are assets. And those are really different measures from what we generally think of as like the price of my phone bill going up, or the price of the iPhone getting more expensive, or the price of iPads and computers getting more expensive, the price of furniture or clothing getting more expensive. If we see those things become more expensive year after year after year, that becomes a sustained issue for inflation. Obviously, that creates inflation rise and then creates a sustained issue for markets, because that's something that markets get nervous about. So let's take a look and see if the 10-year is moving at all. I'm not seeing movement in the 3-month. Maybe this just doesn't update that much. I mean, it says here as of 3/8, so apparently not. I don't know if sorry, this is the 3-month. If the 3-month updates while the auction is happening. The 3-month auction is happening right now. But the bigger one again is going to be the 10-year, and we'll be covering that during the course member live stream, which is from 9 to 10 today, Pacific time. Now, if we do look at the first 12 minutes here of trading or of the auction on the 3-month bond, we actually see that the 10-year bond is declining from about 11 here when the market opened. The bond auction started. The bond auction started at this line here. I wonder if I could just put a nice, more kind of defined line over here. Let's see. Nope, that's going to be a horizontal. Let me do another line here. Just, yeah, something like this. Can we just do this? Yeah, there we go. Right here. This is about where we started. And so we're kind of seeing we went up a little bit, net decline here. We're almost at lows for the day. We had a couple other lows today. Let's see how stocks are reacting here. Roblox still not live. Could also be going live within the next hour here. But let's look at what some of the sticks are doing. So let's do an update on all the sticks. Here we go. So GameStop holding firm, relatively flat throughout the day. AMC also, 10% nice. Fisker, there's that bump again. Let's see, that's a nice bump again here, 10%. We're now at 11% for Fisker. It's just not going to shock me to see Fisker move to $30 again. Would not shock me at all. Open Door, 9.7%. Luminar, Zillow, Canoe. Nice moves here on Canoe, really coming off the bottom here. A lot of stocks coming off, a lot of nice movement off this sort of intraday madness we had there for a moment. Here's why inflation will get higher. Let's hear it. Companies still do not get the cost savings of remote workers. However, the real inflation is only going to be the cost of businesses being able to make money. I'd love for you to clarify that a little bit. Maybe give me a little bit more insight. I think what you're saying is if people can work from home, then there are cost savings at businesses, but wouldn't that lead to prices going down? Because if businesses save money, they can become more competitive by decreasing the price of their products, which is deflationary in nature, and again reiterates how technology creates deflation and a reduction in prices. How much money did I put in BlockFi? About $250,000. I really like BlockFi. I'm going to give some other apps a try as well. But so far, I've been liking BlockFi a lot. You could sign up for BlockFi and get $250 by going to metkevin.com/BF. But I've been bullish on BlockFi. So CCNV news about second factory in Saudi. Second factory in Saudi. Let's see here. Why would they have a second factory? They don't even have their first yet. Let's see. Lucid factory, Saudi. Oh, and let's listen to this really quick. Here's a creator on Roblox.
Are extremely passionate about the platform. For example, we all know that they have 32 million active users all the time. And I know that.
Oh, you're not talking about a second factory in Saudi. You're talking about, They were always planning on doing a factory in Saudi Arabia. That's how they got the big investment in America, as a promise that they would give a factory over there.
Almost around 60 to 80% of America's youth are on Roblox daily. Well, not daily, but
right. Yeah, you certainly see it if you're a parent too. Now, key to your success as an influencer as a whole has been diversification. I know you've talked about this. You didn't sit back and rely on just one platform. I believe your original platform was YouTube, but you did branch into Roblox, and that has proved extremely lucrative to you, leading to a 7-figure salary. Is that right? So what is the biggest source of your revenue and earnings across all these platforms? And has Roblox been, the most lucrative?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I did start on YouTube, and then we decided that we wanted to have more control over the content that we were producing. And we thought a really great way to do that is by creating our own games. As we know, Roblox gives us all of the tools and the education factors and the resources to hire amazing developers to create these games. So we went into game development, and we've launched a game. And the game, I would say, is way more lucrative than actual YouTube CPMs and stuff like that. I think it is quite shocking to a lot of people. And a lot of people don't believe us whenever we say that. But honestly, our game has millions of unique players. And it's comparatively, it's not a huge game on the platform. So these games that only maybe average 5,000 to 6,000 players a day concurrent, they're actually doing really big numbers behind the scenes for Roblox and for the developers themselves.
So, Megan, tell us about your strategy as an experienced creator.
It's awesome.
You've got a 3.5.
I want to make a game now. We'll make a buy the dip game.
On subscribers on YouTube. So steady traffic there. You're into content creation now on Roblox. How important is the Roblox platform going to be for you going forward? Are you going to diversify into creating games outside of that, perhaps on Apple's App Store, on cloud streaming platforms, or is Roblox going to be primary?
I believe that Roblox is a primary asset to my brand and multiple other people's brands, just because you could go and create an app at my app store, but you're not going to have that immediate 32 million daily players to get you started. I think it's a really fantastic platform for anybody that wants to pick it up. I mean, it's literally turning 15-year-olds into millionaires. It's crazy. And I don't think that there would ever be such a platform and a Kickstarter, even with my 3.5 million supporters online. I don't think that they would just so easily translate over to a platform like Steam or the App Store or anything like that, because they're on Roblox, they have the app, there's something keeping them entertained there. Roblox provides a lot.
And
the
it's
databases and everything.
It's what they provide that I wonder about, because we, in a way, saw this play out with Facebook. When Zynga got started there, Facebook was a great platform because there were so many people on it and there were relatively few games, and some of those social games saw big growth. But then Facebook sort of messed things up for them. Now, with Apple's App Store, similar thing. Remember Flappy Bird and all that stuff? And then there was a certain volume on that platform, and it got harder for others to enter. What does Roblox have to do, you think, in terms of community management, developer relations, to keep this momentum going?
I think that they're already doing it. David Baszucki said himself that he sees, I'm not sure if David Baszucki said it or if it was the keynote, that they are seeing themselves not in competition with, but comparative to Disney, Netflix. They want to be an all-over entertainment platform. Right now, they just have a lot of games, but in the past couple of months,
big ambitions for Roblox.
With Lil Nas X and the band Why Don't We? Because Roblox is coming into more of a social aspect. They want to bring people together into their metaverse. They want to be able to do everything on Roblox. So
I gotta check this out.
Concerts, events, and they are keeping people extremely engaged. And I think that that's really important. They're also not just like leaving it up to the creators. They're taking things into their own hands often. They are transforming their platforms into accessible ways. Not really sure how to word that, but they've just added like automatic translations to make the platform more more accessible to other countries around the world. So I think they're already doing a really fantastic job growing into just this massive conglomerate, and I don't see it slowing down at any point.
Right. You know, I can see why for your business as a producer, as a content creator, you want to obviously get everything that you can out of what you've invested in this particular platform. But for your business, don't you almost have to keep one eye out looking for another platform that could eventually take its place in terms of influence?
I think so. I think an important part of my job is to adapt. But as of right now, I don't really see any other gaming space competing with Roblox, as they do have multiple giant game companies coming in and raising venture capital to create games. So we have people wanting to utilize the Roblox platform, like coming from creating mobile apps and coming from Steam to Roblox because of the mass viewer base that they have. So.
Megan, I was just talking to my brother who has two sons, 5 and 8 years old, and he says that they've sort of left Roblox behind and they're all in on Fortnite. So I wonder, do kids and developers, do they eventually move on to other platforms like?
It's honestly a good question.
Metaverse and virtual concerts and things like that?
I think that I just had an answer in my head. It just escaped me. I do think that as people grow older, maybe they come into different interests. But Fortnite, for example, it just has one game loop or maybe like 2 game loops, depending on what game mode you play, whereas Roblox has millions.
Yeah, but those are awesome loops.
We're doing a really great job bringing back that older audience. I, for example, just read a Twitter thread of a mom of 3 who is just playing Roblox. We get tons of messages from adults playing Roblox with their kids. It's a really great way to connect with their kids. And yes, as kids get older, maybe they'll find different interests, but I think that Roblox will always hold a very nostalgic place in their heart.
Right, and I don't think we've seen the last of the business model expanding into places like education and more. Will be an interesting next leg of growth for the company. Megan, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So we'll go back to the sticks in just a moment, but well, I went back to the sticks earlier. There we go. So here's Roblox. So it's kind of like here's like sort of what looks like an app store almost for the games, and it looks like for me to be able to play here. Can I just play these? Oh yeah, I can. Okay. It looked like some of them required me to pay some Robux to be able to play. All right. Oh, yeah, the Gotcha online beta. Imagine, oh, man. Imagine if right now I was, oh, we got the music too. Oh, man. Oh, man. Here we go. Get 38% off. Oh, I can't pitch my course in here. Darn it. I was trying to mention get 38% off my course and it wouldn't work. Darn. Okay. Subscribe to meet Kevin. Yay! Okay. We're gonna stop this now. We're definitely gonna stop this. I can't figure out how to stop this. Hold on. Woo! Okay. All right. Darn. That's spam blocker. So, where were we? Oh, we were just talking about how GameStop has now officially closed over $300 with multiple candlesticks breaking over $300. We have now 4 to 5 minutes of trading over $300 over at GameStop. Oh my God. The rally is continuing. Holy smokers. Woo! Here we go. 35% at GameStop, running well ahead of AMC again, but I don't know. Cost is kicking its butt right now. Nothing but straight up over here. Fisker, I mean, Fisker might be a fun trade, but right now there seems to be no trade other than GameStop. GameStop won't stop. Can't stop GameStop stopping. Wow. Absolutely incredible. So Churchill moving about 5%. We've got, EBIX up a little bit. So what do we, it keeps bouncing around here. 3% at EXPI. Not the highs that we've seen today. Still a lot of nervousness in this market from what's going to happen with that bond auction. A little bit of a green candlestick coming out here from Tesla. We've got OGI, Sundial, Aurora Cannabis selling off a little bit. Cannabis really selling off a bit today. We have really a GameStop, okay, consolidating a tiny little bit with its first red candle here, but really nice breakout run there. Matterport trying to run back up to its 10% gains that we've seen. And moving over to, let's see what maybe what Bloomberg is saying here. Where do we have Bloomberg? Let's jump on over here. Oh, really? We're going to sit on an ad. Great. We got ads everywhere. Oh, wait. Hold on. We could go over here. It looks like they're done.
Who is USA?
Nope. They are just starting with an ad. Oh, darn. Okay. Fine then. So back to the we could go to the let's go to the top news for the day. Okay. Top news for the day. Pull this up here. Let's see what the suits are reading. And if we've got anything going on about bonds. Suits, slam dunk, Bitcoin arbitrage fizzles for the biggest crypto fund. Roblox indicated to open at 67 to 72. This keeps going up. Wow. 67 to 72. Let's talk valuation. Okay, let's do it. This story from October said the company was aiming to get a valuation of $8 billion in its IPO. Folks, at $70, at a price of $70, this is at 46 bill per our math. Oh, did we nail that? 46.8. Oh, we're a little off based on there. See, it's 72. Hold on, wait, 72 puts it at, in my opinion, and based on my math, it puts it at 47.36. So I'm pretty close. I don't know why at 72 it's at 46.8. So I don't know what base value they're using here. So we could figure that out. But we're pretty dang close. Yeah, full intuitive prices and market value. Okay, indicative price of 72 is 46.8 billion. Fully diluted. Wait, hold on. In its direct listing today, the fully diluted value at the high end of its latest indicative price is 46.8. Okay, that's what we care about, the fully diluted. So let's see here. Roblox was more of a slow bake. Okay, Roblox valuation. Look at that. It was worth 525 million in Jan 17. Now it's going to be over 30 bill. That's crazy. I mean, talk about get rich quick. Jeez, man. Wow. No matter what happens today, Roblox has already benefited from its impressive 2020 financial results. Unlike many other hot technology names, the company is generating substantial amounts of cash. During its investor day last month, Roblox said free cash flow rose to 411 mil in 2020 from 14 mil in 2019. That's pretty good. Apparently selling virtual currency to buy digital items is good business. Yeah, no kidding. They're still losing company in general, or losing cash or losing money in general as a company. But I mean, if they've got that kind of free cash flow, who knows how quickly they could go profitable if they stop spending as much. Let's see. using its own infrastructure inside managed data centers. Okay, let's see. Hope you're sitting comfortably. Last big direct listing was Palantir. Didn't start trading until 1:30 p.m. And we had to wait until noon for Slack and Spotify. So in the meantime, we've got the New York Stock Exchange president coming up at 11:40 on Bloomberg. And that's in about 10 minutes. Okay, so it looks like we might be waiting a little bit here for this new direct listing on Roblox to actually hit the market. Not uncommon to sit around and have to wait for these things. We do have the bond auction out of the 10-year starting in about 30 minutes. We'll be live in the course on that one, since that is at course member live time. And so obviously use that coupon code link down below to get 38% off. It expires in 5 days. Citadel Portfolio Manager. Okay, so nothing new here. Yep, nothing new here. Okay, let's jump on over. Let's go to the sticks again. CCIV pumping. I know we've got earnings at Tattooed Chef after hours today. We've got, what else do we have? GameStop, Fisker. GameStop, I mean, the fact that it's holding over 300 is so incredible. This is so amazing. I mean, from $40 to 300, it's so cool. I love it. Canoe, there's that rally at Canoe. We know this is going back to 15 because it always rubber bands back to 15. No surprise here. Fisker also pumping. Matterport coming back with the pump. CCIV coming back with the pump. We were a little bit higher earlier today, but a little bit of nervousness with this treasury auction coming up. And Tesla, let's take a peek at Tesla here. Tesla sitting at 1.7%. So also a little bit of nervousness here. Okay, folks. So I will be live in the course member live stream in 29 minutes. I got to go eat breakfast. So we'll see you then. Check out that coupon code down below. If you want to sign up for Webull, which is, or the charts that we have here, go to metkevin.com/Webull or click the link down below. When you sign up, they will give you 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 totally for free. Just make sure to sign up using that link and deposit $100. You gotta fund your account with $100 to get your second larger free stock. Don't want to spend the quick guide on how to watch the course member live stream is located in lecture 1.0 when you join. Lecture 1.0. All right, folks, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you soon.